Andy here. I am here with Matt today. What's happening, Matt? How is Sales Chain?
SalesChain's doing phenomenal. It's a great start to the year for 2025. Just glad to be talking to you and working with industry analysts in the new start to the year because we've got a lot to talk about and a lot to announce in the 2025 calendar year.
Well, I've been seeing you more than I've been seeing my family this year. I know we saw you at ECS at the beginning. We saw you at we just saw you at FP Mailing Solutions. They had a nice conference. You guys had a nice booth over there. And I thought maybe, we didn't get a chance in January to catch up, but I wanted to see how 2024 went. And then let's talk about, 2025. What do you guys have coming up that dealers should know about? And maybe just take a quick second and give everyone just a short overview for those who don't know Sales Chain. Tell us what you guys do there.
Absolutely. SalesChain is the premier business workflow automation tool set for office technology dealerships. We get put in that CRM bucket a lot. CRM is one component of the software that we offer. Basically, from the point of getting a lead to a salesperson, through following up, through creating a quote, forecasting it, documenting that quote, adding machines to it, generating documentation that's ultimately closable, signable, and then seeking leasing for that deal. SalesChain touches every part of that transaction. So in short, we facilitate that sales process and we help copier dealers sell stuff, whether it's copiers, IT. We were just at the FP show with you. We do mailing and we do a lot of mailing commissions that we've just built into our system. SalesChain helps facilitate that sales process.
Well, and one of the things I think I've always kind of liked about you guys is there's a lot of solutions, that dealers can use, but what makes you sort of unique in this space, and there's not a lot of companies that can say they do this. This is your focus. I mean, you guys are in this office equipment industry. This is where you grew up, essentially. You literally grew up in this industry. And your dad built this from the beginning to help office equipment resellers, right? You've expanded a little bit into managed services providers, but for the most part, I think your core is still that dealer group. Um, you work with everybody too, the integrations, and maybe we can touch on this in a little bit, but I spent some time on your website earlier. Yeah, I saw some familiar names there, ECI and GreatAmerica and DLL. A lot of companies that dealers are already working with. So you tie in, you integrate with them. The one thing I did notice, and maybe this is a good kind of segue into it, is you got some new colors. You got you got a new logo on your website.
That's right. One of our support desk staff members, Emily's a fantastic illustrator, and she helped us design a brand new logo. So we were able to keep that logo design in-house. It was time to, give that brand a refresh. The tricolor look is really popular right now. Just bring us into this updated 2025 look, which coincides well with the fact that we're working more tightly with partners in the industry than ever. And Colton and myself found that we needed to send brand markings, guides on what we look like and who we are to way more people because we're working on significant integrations with financing companies this year. So US Bank, Great America, Canon Financial, DLL, Leaf, Wells Fargo, Peak, all of the major financing partners in the industry are developing or have developed significant integrations with us through the 2024 calendar year. And they need to talk about us. We'll be talking a lot about them. Those integrations focused exclusively on the office technology space, as you said, line up with the fact that 23 years ago, we started in this industry as a lease portfolio managing provider. 23 years ago, Andy, that looked like sending an email ping to a salesperson to let them know when their contract was coming due. Now, what that looks like is API integrations to US Bank to bring that portfolio in, to allow you to apply for credit, get credit pre-approvals as a salesperson or as a lease administrator. Have US Bank return that decision, return that buyout, have Great America show you their entire invoice history within our platform for any given lease, and to be able to aggregate that lease portfolio across multiple providers synced through APIs into your CRM and quoting platform, making all that information available to salespeople and to leasing administrators at office technology dealerships saves a lot of time. And
I gotta
big
think it
thing we've
saves a
been
ton of
focused
time.
on.
It brings me
Oh yeah,
back.
big thing we've been focused on, Andy, is the fact that right now these different leasing providers, if you look at what the processes look like just to get funding, it's like a subway map. You could take the red line, the green line, the blue line, requires different people. You have to go through different portals, submit different paperwork. The process from one financing company is entirely different from one to the next. So standardizing that, fostering muscle memory, putting it all in one platform, SalesChain, allows these dealers to really save time and effort by making it a ubiquitous process. Atomic habits make it easy.
Well, dealers right out of the gate, I know from my own experience that dealers often use multiple leasing partners, right? And sometimes those leasing partners over the years will change. And so just having all of that in one place, right, where it's just I don't have to leave the system, I don't have to leave your platform, I just log in, my leasing information is there, my customer information is there, my CRM information is there. I can take that information and dump it into a proposal. You showed me, we've had demos of this building these proposals, and everything just dumps into this system. So you have a consistent look from the dealer. Like everybody's proposals look the same. They're worded properly. My dealer has a consistent message he's able to give. My sales reps are empowered to just whip up a proposal anytime they need it. They don't have to get in line and wait for the admin person who, and that's how we used to do it. You'd hand it off and wait for somebody to put it together for you. Or if they trusted you, you could do your own, but then, you're losing that consistency. So, great tool. And so I'm sure, anyone wanting a demo, we'll put some contact information. We'll help them get in touch with you. I know you're on a short time frame here, so I did want to catch up and find out, maybe a couple highlights from 2024, and then we'll focus a little more on this year. What were a couple of the things that jumped out that were real standout moments, I think, for you guys?
Great question. I mean, the development of these integrations was a big focus through the 2024 calendar year. We had a couple of early adopters and dealerships throughout the country that were really instrumental in giving us feedback, testing it, vetting it to make sure that it was something that we were comfortable rolling out to our general user base. We also developed a whole new set of commissioning tools for anybody who's selling mailing equipment. Michael Hannon and the FP team did a great job with their show last week. We really enjoyed going and showcasing some of that commissioning tool set to that dealer base. We also grew another 20% in terms of our user base and the number of dealers using our platform. It's kind of exciting to see more and more folks, different faces coming on and utilizing the platform in more different parts of the country. Also exciting, we have a new director of sales who was a 14-year user of the product. I think you got a chance to interview Stephen
I
Cook about
did.
his experience. He's a great fit, and he's really starting to ramp up and fit in well.
Yeah, Steven, I met him last year at a BTA, I think was the first time I came across him in person, but he liked the product so much he left the dealer he was working with to come work for you. That's a pretty good endorsement right there. Um, and then so jumping forward, it sounds like you had a good year. Jumping forward to that conference we were just at, the FP mailing. Uh, what did you think about the mailing guys? Because that was that what was interesting to me was we did have our dealer group there. We had a whole bunch of dealers, Don McCarthy and we saw some Novatech guys there, and so and a whole bunch of others. But then there was that whole other subset that I don't normally talk to. I don't know if you guys work with them at all. Um, is that something that's an opportunity for you guys? What did you think of the crossover there and having them all in one room for us?
Probably the biggest opportunity is going to come from people who do a little bit of both. Just like when we work with copier dealers who fit into IT, we don't really work with true MSPs as much as we work with copier dealerships who have MSP as an offering or who have acquired an MSP to fit into the space. I think, and I can only speculate here because it's a relationship we've just begun. I think that it's going to begin with dealerships who have a mail offering, mailing providers who carry a line or two of copiers. That cross-selling opportunity fits really well with SalesChain's ability to put multiple different product categories on one proposal, forecast them slightly differently, commission them differently. So that's really, I think, where our base would be built, and it's going to align well with continuing to focus on the office tech market.
It fits right in with what you guys are doing. So it's kind of nice to see when something falls in your lap like that. That's just, oh,
Mhm.
well, here's a few more potential customers for ours
Exactly. And
that we
Great
didn't
America is a
know.
great integrating partner of ours too. We do a lot with them in terms of the integrations we've developed with leasing providers, and they do a lot of mailing integration with their one invoice program, I understand, being very capable for mailing providers. So that'll be another kind of integration opportunity in which we work very well.
The integrations are amazing. ConnectWise was another one I saw on that on your website. So,
Oh yeah, I was
which
just talking to Jenna yesterday. We have exciting things coming with them this year too.
well, it plays right into the whole managed services and supporting these dealers and wherever they want to go, right? And so you can help them build these proposals and not stop at the end of the printer or copier. You can keep going and help them build, I guess, a service out of additional products and programs, and so you're integrated into the ConnectWise feed. Um,
That's right.
what other integrations are you guys? Give me a nice little rundown off the top of your head. Just let's throw some names out there of popular companies you work with, just to kind of showcase. Because
Yeah,
I
I
don't
mean,
think people appreciate, how big a deal it is that this product ties in with so many different places that they're already working with.
first and foremost is going to be eAutomate. We work really tightly with their integration and the ability to pull customer data in. We integrate bi-directionally, so we're able to push a quote into eAutomate as a sales order, allocate inventory, add assets and line items, assign serial numbers, which is a really sophisticated integration that we offer uniquely. And frankly, I think we do the best in the industry. That customer data is able to be referenced very easily in our platform in the CRM component of it, where you would then be able to cross-reference that with your lease portfolio coming in from the integrations with GreatAmerica, US Bank, DLL, Leaf, and others. Um, Canon Financial, Wells Fargo, that information aggregated together with something like HubSpot, where we integrate from a marketing perspective, or an Evolved Office, where we bring in those leads and opportunities, actually being able to see the entire Evolved Office platform within SalesChain. Um, Paints kind of a cross as a picture where you're able to bring information in, send it to another place, send it up to ConnectWise, bring it back over to eAutomate, and create one source of truth within SalesChain across your multiple offerings and departments.
It's funny because you name all these companies, and I forgot how many you worked with, and when I looked at the list earlier, um, it's a big list, and
Yeah.
that we get you out here, and you talk about the last one or two that you kind of signed up, or a handful of them, but we forget about all the ones that that you've been working with for years. So the
Hmm.
integrations are what makes this thing work, right? So you've got this huge database and you just are able to use it in so many different ways and just
Hmm.
from the sales rep to it sounds like service technicians, the service management can use this tool for certain
Yeah.
things, the C-level people in the company all the way down to that sales rep and on his or her first day, everybody's got something they can use this for, which is um man, I wish we had this. Honestly, when I was
It's
selling, we
it's a
did not
tricky
have this.
line to walk, right? Because you have all of these APIs where the focus of a platform 20 years ago might have been to try to be the do-it-all solution. And now a lot of companies in the dealership space and otherwise are looking at the best tools that they can find for any individual purpose and integrating them together. But there's also a need for the dealer channel, especially when you have people wearing multiple hats, different departments working together, to be able to bring in a tool that has all of the different tools and functions that SalesChain does, whether that be document generation, the best service pricing tool in the industry, like you mentioned, IT pricing tools, delivery management workflows, bid desks, credit automation, and marketing and sales activity and automation as well. And not having to hire multiple resources to manage that, not having to employ multiple systems is also an incredibly powerful part of our offering. Should you not want to use a HubSpot, or should you not want to integrate with some of these tools, we can do most of that function within our product. And that's powerful for somebody who's just getting started or who has just a handful of reps and needs that e-automate integration as kind of a core product. But for somebody who grows and who needs that ConnectWise integration, who begins doing marketing automation with HubSpot, a smaller dealer who wants the resources that Evolved Office can provide, right? And actually have their content created in some capacity for them. Then bringing those integrations in helps the product scale and ends up making us the best of both worlds because you can have all of that function, not need to allocate additional resources to making our product work, but we still play into the current trend of making sure that the integrations we have are first class.
And this is modular, right? This is not, an overwhelming product where you just sign up and now you don't even know where to start. This is, let's start with what you want to use it for. If you come in as, for the bid quoting and for building proposals, you start with that module and then there's just the integrations. What else are you using? Who do you use for leasing? Who do you use for,
Hmm.
do you use eAutomate? What other
Yeah.
products can we turn on for you? So
And
every
highly
dealer gets this,
configurable
but every
too,
dealer has
to
their
interrupt.
own
Yeah.
unique setup, right? Everything
Hmm.
is built for the dealer.
Exactly. Sorry to interrupt. Highly configurable because dealers do things very differently,
Yeah, they all
whether
do.
it's
They all do
whether
the
it's a
same thing,
dealer
but they
next
all do
door
it
or not.
different, right?
Hmm.
Very cool. Very cool. So we saw you at a couple shows already this year, and before I let you go, I want to see where are we going to be seeing you guys? What's the layout for the year, and what can you share with us that you've got coming down the pike that's not too sensitive that we have to wait? What kind of good stuff can you give us for what's coming, what's happening at Sales Chain?
The roadmap for the 2025 calendar year makes me giddy. We have some really exciting further integrations that should be announced within the course of the 2025 calendar year. We've got a couple features that I think will be drop dead amazing for us and for dealers. We are headed to the CDA show in March. We may be announcing some of our new capabilities and features at that point. We'll be at the BTA National Show and a number of other shows throughout the course of the year.
Very cool. Well, we will be catching up with you at these shows. I look forward to it. Appreciate you coming on today and sharing all this with us. Any last shout outs, any last messages you want to leave us with?
Sure, whether you're a dealer already using SalesChain or whether you don't use our platform yet, whether you're looking or you are just curious what's out there, you can always see our latest capabilities by getting in touch with us at saleschain.com/demo.
Well, thank you very much for coming on and sharing. This was very informative and I love catching up with you every few months and just seeing how much more you've added to this because every time we talk, there's a new piece to this, a new integration, a new capability. I'm excited about some of the stuff that you told me about before we got on the call and I look forward to you sharing that publicly down the road. And we'll be seeing you soon. We'll be seeing you at BTA and some of these other shows. So thanks for catching up with us, Matt.
Of course, I think dealers should be excited.
I think so. I think they should be. We should all be excited. Great seeing you.
Great seeing you too, Andy.